From the plains to every town, we're building futures, breaking ground. Teachers rising, voices strong, leading change where we belong. It's about the hearts we raise, lighting up the brighter days. Kansas leads, we stand together, stronger now than ever, ever. Learning, growing, planting seeds, shaping tomorrow. Kansas leads. Tomorrow, Kansas leads.
Hello and welcome to episode 2, season 2 of Leeds Lounge. Once again, I am Jordan,
And I am Dwayne.
and we have a pretty awesome guest with us today. We have Mary Ellen Flannery. She is the senior writer and editor for the NEA Today magazine. Mary Ellen has been a long-time voice for educators, focusing on higher education issues, mental health, faculty and staff, working conditions, policy, and just the everyday stories that don't get told. She's been published not only in NEA Today, she's published in the Washington Post, the High Plains Journal, as well as Portside. She comes with us with nearly 20 years at NEA and a background in reporting in major regional papers. She brings a depth and empathy to the topics that she tackles. And we are here to share some joy that she sees every day in her work. Mary Ellen, thank you for being here today. I know this is going to be a magical conversation.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm super psyched about this. When Dwayne reached out and told me you guys wanted to talk about joy, I was like, yes, let's talk about joy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it. So, Mary Ellen, and I want to say, like, it was an honor being able to meet you and connecting with you when you were able to visit my classroom. And this time, like, especially, it feels like more than ever, we do need to bring the joy back because we have our conference coming up in November, and that is going to be the primary focus. Is just we want to bring the joy back. So, getting everybody together and feeling that energy. So, we have asked you, like, to. I know you have numerous stories that you've covered and inspiration. So if you're willing to share a little bit with us, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I would love to share. And Dwayne, thank you for having me in your classroom the other week. I had such a good time. Speaking of joy, like it was just a fun, welcoming vibe. Your kids are amazing. Um, I mean, the fact that not only was I with this amazing teacher, but also somebody who's won the cannoli eating championship contest 5 times. I mean, what?
You're telling me
Yeah.
I want to be a kindergartner in Dwayne's room. First off, I will be
Yeah.
never shy away from that. But you're right. Like as a host here, I got work to do. He's now been interviewed twice in major publications. He is the cannoli king of Pittsburgh. Like it's some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And see, and like bringing joy, I feel like I don't even want to share the next part. Our Festa Italiana was this past weekend, and I had to model for my students. We talk about being good winners and good losers. I had to model being a good loser because our high school football coach, really gigantic human being, he beat me this weekend. So
Oh.
I am dethroned. I am still the 5-time champ, but I am not. I feel like this is what Patrick Mahomes must feel like.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
but about bringing back the joy. So
That's hilarious.
Uh,
Well, I did okay, so I did spend some time thinking about the stories that I've written that have made me happy. Um, and for me, it's always like the last one, whatever I did most recently is the one that's always at the top of my mind. So the last story I did was about a retired teacher, actually, who just has just published his own book. He was delightful. His name is Dan Gill. Um, and I'm going to tell you what the book is about. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So when he was a kid, he's a much like he's an older man. He's probably in his 70s now. But when he was a kid, he grew up in New York City, and he and his friend Archie were invited to a birthday party uptown. So they got like they got super dressed up and they put on their nice shoes and they went to this beautiful apartment building. And the mom opened the door and she looks at Dan and his friend Archie and was like, Dan, you may come in, but Archie, I'm sorry, there's no more chairs. Right? It was kind of crazy. And the thing you would know if you were reading this book, because it's a lovely picture book, is that Dan is white and Archie is black.
Oh.
I know. So Archie was like, he had a little like he had a sad face, and Dan was like, no, I know there's more chairs, right? Like I've been in your apartment, and I know there's chairs. And if there's not enough, I can sit on the floor. And the mom was like, no, 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 you can't come in. There's not enough chairs. So they left their gifts and went home. Um, but for his during his entire teaching life, and he taught for 53 years. I want to say 53 years. Isn't that crazy? Are you guys going to be doing this in 53 years? I know.
I would love to be able to say yes,
It's
but
a year by year basis.
middle
So
school
like, wait,
teacher.
let's reevaluate on a year by
Yeah.
year basis.
Right. So for 40 years, he kept an empty chair in his classroom. And the kids were like, why do you have an empty chair? And he was like, um, I have an empty chair because I don't want ever to say that there's not enough chairs. And it's just like so beautiful, right? And it's all about kindness, right? Like it's just this chair, this empty chair is a symbol of kindness in his classroom. And um and just how like it and a symbol of how we should act toward each other. And I just loved it so much. I love this man, Mr. Gill.
I absolutely love that, and I am totally starting that in my own classroom tomorrow.
Ah,
Talk all the time about
yeah,
how nobody gets left out in our classroom.
right,
That encapsulates it all. That's
right.
the perfect symbol for it. So I'm starting that in my classroom tomorrow. Thank you, Dan Gill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Dan
was
Gill.
not expecting to get emotional in this podcast, but
Mhm.
wow, that was powerful stuff right there.
Oh,
I know. I know. Okay. Story number two.
okay.
This one I loved. Um, it was last fall. I went to Maine to this little community in Rockport, which is coastal Maine. It's like I'm gonna say I don't getting there was it was kind of like a challenge. I flew to Boston, then I took a bus, and then I had to walk to the school. Um, and they have there's this teacher named Heather Bowen. She was able to start her own outdoor pre-kindergarten program at the elementary school there. So the kids show up, it's a half day program, they're in the classroom for a little bit, but then they spend like hours outside in the woods behind this school. And there's like a stream that runs through the woods, and they have, like measuring cups. She has all these roof gutters, right? Like, like those white like gutters, and the kids like redirect the water and they
Mhm.
paint on rocks, and they find ants and stuff. And I love being with people who love their jobs, and where they're just like so excited and happy and fulfilled. And she was totally that kind of person, even though they were out there and like they were wearing, she had to wear her rain pants. Like it was like, like it didn't matter. And it's Maine, it's so cold. It does not matter how bad the weather is. She just loves it. Um, and I was gonna play if you wanted to hear like a little audio from that classroom, because I know you guys are, it's a podcast. You want to hear what the kids?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do
Okay,
it.
hold on.
You found something in the log? Oh, look at that. What are those?
What's a golden thing?
I don't know.
Don't we like colony like that?
Like a colony?
Yeah.
What does that mean, a colony?
Miss Heather has so yeah, I did a little audio story about it, but I loved it. Isn't it like they're just so excited to be out there?
You can tell the passion just in her voice. Like,
Absolutely.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And what's amazing, like they do so well when they go to kindergarten. Like if they were in your class, like they're so confident and they're so like they work together so well. And they like she has learning objectives, right?
Right.
She meets them, but they do it all in the woods.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
just like super collaborative, like fun little kids.
That was amazing. One of the things that Dwayne and I talked about while we were just chit-chatting before we got on is, just being some of the joy in our profession is just leaning it into the weird and the different things that the students say and they do. And as you were sitting here telling your stories, it made me think of one. I had a student that was he had an IEP, and just this really funny kid. And he would always every day he'd go, Mr. Schulich, I have a secret, but I'm not gonna tell you. I have a secret, but I can't tell you. And he goes, and then he come the next day, I have a secret. Maybe you'll learn today. Maybe you'll learn today. Well, that one day he came and he told me as at recess, I got to learn his secret, right? And his secret was that he was Spider-Man.
Stop.
Yes, he was Spider-Man, right? And so, of course, I made a huge deal about this thing. And then I go, hey, I have a secret, but I can't tell you. I can tell you what it is. I can't tell you. Maybe later. I can't do it right now. We did this for a few days, and then we were at recess, and I go, hey, come here. You want to know my secret? He goes, yeah. I go, I'm Batman. And he just like was astounded and like he was like, oh my goodness. So it's like just leaning into like the weird things and the fun things. That is one thing that we can do to like bring joy in our it doesn't always have to be reading math, science, social studies. To just like being with them as humans and connecting with them as people. That's where the joy comes from in our profession.
For sure. I think it's all about relationships. Like, I think the happiest people are the people who have like authentic relationships with the kids and their colleagues and parents and like the community.
Absolutely. And that joy is contagious too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you like when you heard it in the voice from the clip that you played, or when you hear the stories, children, regardless of age, preschool all the way up to college age through adults, like you can sense if somebody is being sincere with you. You can tell if they genuinely care about you, if they want to make that connection. But like ever since I've always felt that relationships are key, and we had Taylor Bussinger, the meeting him and the talking about relationships over rigor. Like that's the kind of stuff. That's why I do what I do. Is that just every day the funny stories and the
Hmm.
just the you'll oh I was reading a story the other day, and again, when I read stories I get really silly. I love doing that around 5 and 6 year olds, but I was getting really silly. And then it was we're doing the five senses with the Little Red Riding Hood, and as I'm reading it, it got to the part where I thought something bad was going to happen to Little Red. So I closed the book and I started to get emotional, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. And 19 of my students are like, finish it, finish it. One little girl back in the back is like starting to tear up.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I stopped immediately and I'm like, Hadley, come up here. And I'm like, I've been talking to you about empathy all year long. This is empathy right here. Nothing was wrong with her. She was worried about me being sad
Oh,
in the story.
Hadley.
So that was a perfect example, but it's like we have things like that that happen all of the time. And
Yeah.
again, that's what makes our profession so much different than any other in the world. We get to do this every single day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think with social media and the news and all this, we only ever hear about the negative side of most things. And I think education is treated the same way. We continually hear about, well, the government's doing this, and this teacher did this, and this teacher did that. But it's those things, like good things happen every day. And
Yeah.
we've got to share those things. We got to spread that stuff.
and not only that, but we get, and I'm guilty of it myself. I can have 99 people tell me something great that I'm doing and tell me how much they love that their kid is in my class, but then that one person says something that I did wrong or they wish I would have done differently, and I get hyper focused on that one. So I've tried to get better at that, about not focusing so much on that one person, and obviously use that as an opportunity to grow and change. But there's so much, like you said, for the longest time. I'm old enough to remember when social media wasn't a thing, and it was just you read the headlines in the newspaper. It was just the big bold ones were the negative, were those stories, the tragic stories, and all of the good stories were hidden in the back pages. So right now, we need to bring those to the forefront. We need to bring the joy, bring the good back to the to the world, to social media, to everything.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, I think there's a lot of real challenges out there, for sure. But there are amazing things happening in people's classrooms every day. Like, and they're
So
great. Yeah, they're great, you know?
and
Yeah.
anybody that watches this, and we encourage you, get on social media and share
Yeah.
the good things, share the amazing things you're doing in your classroom. If you're a veteran teacher, invite those newer teachers into your room. Sometimes we get trapped in our silos and we forget to share the amazing things that we are doing.
You're making me think of this story I did a few years ago, and it's not like it was not a big story at all, but it was about I talked to retired teachers about the things they never threw away, right? Like, yeah, so like the 100 mugs, but it wasn't really
Yeah,
it wasn't so much mugs. It
right.
it was mostly notes from kids, right? Those are the things they never wanted to throw away. They're like, I love you, Mr. Taylor.
Mm.
Notes from parents, like homemade gifts, right? And all these things, they just they were done with their careers, but they I don't know. I think they just reminded them of the impact that they had and like the joy and that they really changed people's lives.
I have a drawer in my classroom and a shoebox at my house that is every painting, every note. So last year around this time, actually, I was on paternity leave because my daughter was
Woohoo!
born.
Oh,
And I know
congratulations.
we've almost made it a year, like, and she's still alive.
Yay.
Um,
That's a low bar,
my
but okay.
my long-term sub had so I teach three blocks. I teach science social studies for fifth grade. And my one of the activities that my long-term sub had them do is he had every single student like write me a note while I was on maternity leave. From asking about my daughter to suggesting names, which we already had a name because she was already born. Um, but just it was going through and some of those were like about how like they're happy for me, but they miss me and they want me to come back. And it just like those, you're right. There's those things you hang on to for a real long time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mr.
And
Taylor, you hanging
and
on?
Mary Ellen, what you don't know also is Jordan is the luxury of being able to teach with his better half as well.
Oh, that's so nice.
She's a fourth grade teacher, different buildings. But yeah, she's a fourth grade teacher. Um, so yeah, we get
So
to
do you
share a
have
lot of those
kids who
stories.
like have her in fourth grade and then you in fifth grade?
Different buildings.
Okay.
Yeah, she's I'm in the Shawnee Heights School District. She's in the Seaman School District.
Yeah.
My ongoing joke with her though is actually that like I don't want to work in the same building as her because people would realize how much better she is at her job. So you know,
Okay.
she could stay where she's at. But no, yeah, it is there, we've talked about this before, Dwayne. There is some joy to that too because we also understand each other's profession.
Yeah.
Like we understand the weight that it holds. We understand the pain that some of us go through on a daily basis when we're dealing with the kids that are dealing with amazing things or not amazing things in their life. So yeah, there's definitely some good points in that too.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, Mary Ellen, this has been amazing.
You guys
So,
are
and
amazing. I like I said earlier, I love talking to people who love their jobs, who just,
Mhm,
are happy and excited and fulfilled and like have plans.
mhm.
Dwayne, I'm
Yeah.
interested. What do you hold on to?
What do I? Oh, you said you have a shoebox. And I know it's different. If you can imagine, it's different for kindergarten and fifth grade. I get stuff on a daily basis. So I'm not going to lie and say I keep every single thing I've ever received, but if a child puts their name on it and I can tell, like I keep it. So in the attic of our garage, I've got several tubs and I'm just waiting for that, like someone to say, "Hey, do you remember?" Like if it's something special like that they've created, I usually display it in my classroom permanently. But if it's something like that they say, "Hey, do you remember when I did this?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do." I'll bring it tomorrow. And so I do those kind of things. But again, I've spoken about this several times on our podcast. one thing that I love about my district is I'm able to see the students from preschool all the way through 12th grade, the high school. So I'm still those connections that I've made. I still, at least on a weekly basis, I'm able to go over and check in on them and still maintain that those relationships that I've nurtured along the way. So, and then at Festa, our festival that we had this past weekend, I was able to see students that had graduated and I hadn't seen in years. And they obviously, that's a big thing for our community. So they come for that. So, but we really do have a profession that touches lives forever. So I can't imagine doing anything else. And like, I don't know why more people don't want to be teachers. I mean,
I think
Yeah.
my version of your fiesta is I go to the Shining Heights graduation every year.
mhm.
Mhm.
That's something that brings me joy from that standpoint of I just get to see them, they walk across the aisle and then I seek them out afterward and they're all like, it's Mr. Ulick. And it's like when they have that reaction, like when they see you in public, as like, all right, I made some impact. Like it means something and that brings joy too.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. My wife is not an educator, but she is totally jealous of the celebrity status that I do have as a teacher. So being out in public and having to stop and talk to every single parent or every single kid that's excited that you have a life outside of the school. So, but yeah, she kind of gets jealous. I try not to stop and sign autographs or anything, but
Mr. Taylor, Mr. Taylor.
I I live in the neighborhood that I work in. My school is literally up the street from my house. Before, when I didn't have to take my son to daycare, I walked to work in the morning. And so I get to interact with students all the time outside of, and it is fun. It's different. And they're like, hey, Mr. Ulick, hey, Mr. And then it's interesting, like, there'll be people I'm friends with their parents, and then they come to school and like, wait, is this neighbor? Is this Jordan? Are you Mr. Ulick? Like they try to figure out like how are they going to address this person that has been in the neighborhood prior to them coming to school. And
I think kids are always like a little, it's always weird for them when they run into their teachers like the grocery store, like you're there buying tomatoes or whatever. And they're
yeah,
like, what?
yeah. Why aren't you
You're
at
here?
school
You buy
today?
food?
we don't just take a school lunch home with us every day for
Yeah.
dinner.
Oh.
Well, Mary Ellen, this was wow. I didn't think I realized how much I needed the laughs and then the stories at this point in time. That was amazing.
Yeah, awesome.
Did you have any other stories or anything you wanted to share before we wrap up?
Oh, I mean, I could talk about school therapy dogs forever. I'm kind of a crazy dog lady, but I don't have to.
Oh.
Get a
But
dog. Bring it to your classroom, Mr. Ulick. The kids will love it.
Oh, the funnest year of my teaching career was the year I had two blind students in my class. They were twins, and I went through the Hadley School for the Blind and learned Braille and introduced. I felt like I was a better teacher for everybody that year. Whenever we introduced the letters, I introduced it in Braille, what it looks like, the six dots and everything. But also that was the year that my principal challenged me when I told him I want to try to bring 100 different creatures into our classroom this year. And he said, there's no way you're going to be able to do that. Like the worst thing you can do to me is tell me I can't do something. So we had more than 100 different creatures in, everything from ball pythons to porcupines to the first. I wore my overalls and everything because someone brought in a goat the first time I ever milked something. So I milked a goat, but no, it was. So when you talk about bringing a dog, like I've had more than a dog in my classroom. So
Dwayne, then I'm going to challenge you. I don't think you can reclaim that cannoli title. I don't think you can do it.
I have 358 days to train. I'm on it. The worst part of it is the football coach's son is in my classroom this year. So I've got to listen to that trash talk for the rest of the school year.
Oh, Well, the timer, we pay for the free version of Zoom
Oh
here.
yeah,
So
we gotta get going.
we got 9 minutes to
gotta get
wrap this up. That's what Zoom is telling me. Guys, there is still spots open for our conference in Wichita. And let me just tell you guys,
Blows my mind that there's still spots available. They are filling up quick.
we got some extra special things planned that we have never done before. So like if you're thinking, oh, I've gone to this conference 3-4 times, like nope. We're doing some things that we've never done before. Details are still forthcoming. What I can tell you is Friday night will be at Exploration Place in Wichita, which I've never been there. I don't think Dwayne's ever been. I hear some amazing. I told a colleague about it, and they were like, "Oh my yes, that place is awesome." So we got that Friday night, and we'll be in Derby on Saturday. You got to stay tuned though to get some more information.
The food that we have lined up is incredible as well. And we have some amazing keynote speakers visiting us. And again, what was the price of this conference again, Jordan?
Hold on. Let me get my calculator out. That would be a grand total of free. Free
Professional development. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this.
That includes if you are over 60 miles from Wichita. That also includes your room. So you get a room. Everyone gets food. You get to hang out with like Dwayne and I in 3D and real.
Yeah.
So sign up. Tell your friends. Hey, let's pack the house. Let's make it the biggest one. I think Pittsburgh currently holds the record for the biggest one.
Yep.
We got to beat
Pittsburgh
it.
Frontenac, our neck of the woods. But I really would, even though like I'm partial to that one for some reason, I would like to blow those numbers out of the water because I enjoy hanging out with Jordan and all of the amazing people on our Kansas Leads team, and then our regulars that usually come. But like, I thrive on meeting new people, on making those connections, on sharing the things that I'm doing that I feel that are effective in the classroom. But I'm always looking for new ways to do things. So please sign up. Everybody has something to offer. Bring some joy to our conference.
Absolutely. Mary Ellen, it was a pleasure talking with you.
Thanks for having me. Your conference sounds amazing.
If you just happen to be in the neck of the woods, like you might, I know you're kind of far away, but hey, I will keep an empty chair there for you.
Oh, an empty chair.
That was great. Wow. Man, chopping some bombs there. Take us home, Dwayne.
Oh, so once again, thank you, Mary Ellen. But from our classroom to yours, we see you, we get you, and we're right there with you. Keep changing the world one child at a time. We'll see you next time in the lounge.
We lift each other every day, advocating, taking part. Service starts within the heart. It's about the dreams we chase, every child a brighter place. Kansas Leads, we stand together, stronger now than ever, ever. Learning, growing, planting seeds, shaping tomorrow. Kansas Leads. Tomorrow, Kansas Leads. Leadership in every hand, voices rising across the land. Side by side, we'll meet the